All right, so today's lecture is win with buyers, at a high level, skills that are necessary for you to generate more business. So as we dive in, what are we getting prepared for? Now, this curriculum is more like a 3 to 4 hour session. We're not going to spend 3 hours. It's Friday. It's a 3-day weekend. I'm just blessed to have the opportunity to share this with you and the nuggets that you can pick up of, working with more buyers. Because again, buyers transition to sellers. Let me explain how. You happen to find a property for your client. You submit the offer, you go into escrow, you close escrow. Congratulations, they are new homeowners. 2 to 3 to 5 years from now, your buyers are now sellers. And now they want to upgrade to a bigger home, maybe upgrade to a more desirable area. Guess what? You build those relationships who at one point were your buyers. Now it transitions to seller. And now you have a listing in place. What if you do 12 buyers this year? Put 12 buyers into escrow. That's 12 units. And more so, those are 12 sellers in the near future. So look at it from that perspective, okay? So what are we preparing for today? Buyer leads to call for appointments. We're not gonna stop. Usually this is more of an in-person when we have a class lecture where we'll pause and then we start lead generating. We're not gonna do that, okay? You gotta learn and understand your local market stats, okay? How important that is. This morning, if you were on the call, I had Luis Palacios. He said, the first thing that he jumps on is the multiple listing service. How important that is? Very important. Why? You got to know your market. Whatever your area that you want, if it's Calabasas, the West Side, the South Bay, the Long Beach area, whatever area, you got to understand the stats. What's active, what's pending, what's under contract, what has sold in the last 90 days. You want to be that local expert. Current value proposition. What is your value proposition? What are you providing that the buyer says, you know what, Mona, you are the agent that I've chosen for you to represent us on the purchase of this home. You gotta know what your value proposition is. Okay, maybe it's a bio, maybe it's your resume, maybe it's designations that you have acquired through your career, certifications that you have taken. Anything and everything to showcase your position as the value. What are you an expert in? Well, I'm an expert in negotiations. I'm an expert at creating those connections, and I have the bandwidth to do so. So those are again examples of what your value proposition is. Your buyer guide as well. Having a buyer guide as a checklist of items that you present as part of your consultation. Past clients as well, no cards, envelopes and safs, and obviously the number one you should have as part of your arsenal is business cards, okay? The introduction and the mindset and the models. Again, everything that I stress on any topic that I talk is all about the mindset. The mindset will dictate if you are going to be successful or you're not going to be successful. It all starts up here. Models. Well, the KW models are already in place. If you have, the Millionaire Real Estate book, okay, which it sits right here on my desk, and I go through economic models, organization models, avenues of how to approach different systems in order for me to be more efficient, and preaching those models to our agents. Why are you here? Mona, why are you here?
I am here because I want to start my career in real estate to create financial freedom and to create a successful career for myself.
I love it. I love it. Absolutely. We all get our real estate license for one reason, right? It's to make money and start a new career. That's what I did 25 years ago, was I saw the ability that real estate can have. I had people prior to me that were in real estate, and I was taken back on the amounts of money, the financial freedom, but more so the ability to also buy investment properties. You already have the license to do so. Now the ability to take it one notch up and buy opportunities, investments, buy your primary home, secondary home, vacation home, an investment home. You know, what you leave once you decide to exit real estate is your legacy, right? But more so all the assets that you can build by purchasing real estate. I love it. Anyone else want to share why they're here? I don't know who iPhone is, so I'm just going to call as iPhone.
No problem, Simon. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, this is Charles.
Harold, man, how are you?
I'm good. I'm good. I'm just here to get a different perspective on different approaches to the market that we're in and making the business successful. I'm also new, but to part of the team and recently put a client in escrow. So I have some, getting some experience right off the bat, but just want to get some other points of view on how to
Love it.
approach and close buyers.
I love it. Awesome.
Yeah,
Charles.
this is Teresa, the iPhone. Sorry, I don't know why I didn't have my name. Yes, I also have not really. I want to close a buyer consultation. I did Zooming consultation,
Yeah.
and I learned that Zooming doesn't work. You have to really get them to see you, and if they like you, they're willing to work with you, because I'm trying to learn how to follow up with the buyer questions and all that. So I'm still learning. The more I know.
And is it Teresa, Teresa? Is it like that?
Yes.
I'll go ahead and change it for you. I don't want to call you iPhone. So Teresa, welcome. Thank you so much. All right. Thank you. Thank you for sharing your point of view. Absolutely. You know, the beauty is, what can you learn from today's class? Okay. And the purpose of why you're here. You know, words of wisdom. When you interview, top people and ask them what the biggest challenge is, they'll tell you it's mindset, keeping it strong, focused, and positive. The many challenges that you encounter every single day. And the way that the top stay on top is the vast majority say that is their top issues, not leads, but mindset. And I want to stress the fact that it's very, very important, because one, this is not a 9-to-5 job, ladies and gentlemen. This is not a 9-to-5 job. This is a business. Treat it like a business, respect it like a business, handle it like a business, and you'll see and reap the benefits from the business. Many people get into this industry and unfortunately get washed out and do not do real estate because it's too exhausting, too difficult, very stressful, and there's many reasons people end up leaving the industry. The top people that do survive this industry make a living, and more so live a very comfortable living as well. What you put into it is what you get out of it. That's simple. Okay. It's like fishing, right? You can throw the fishing rod out and the line out in the open water, but if you don't have the right bait, there may be an unfortunate position that you will not get any fish. But if you put the right amount in the freshest, you may get a hit and ultimately catch fish. Well, that's the same with your real estate career. What you put into it is your lead generating, your marketing, your devotion and dedication to it will eventually is what we call planting the seed. Once you plant the seed, then ultimately you'll reap the benefits from it. And that's the beauty about real estate. All right, so practice of the top agents. Here it is. Number one, know the local market and its inventory. I stressed this and I said this, in the beginning. Prioritize and manage leads. You get leads, but knowing how to do the follow-up. Know their buyers, their buyers. One of the things is, where are your buyers coming from? Are they coming from online? Are your sphere of influence past clients, family and friends? Where are your buyers coming from? Our decisions facilitators, master scripts, very important. Okay, I cannot stress the facts. the ability to understand scripts, dialogues, and role playing, objection handlers, right? If you can afford a coach, by all means, hire a coach for accountability, hold you accountable. You know, you're a businesswoman, businessman, you know, understand the dynamics. It's like the accountability is to push you, okay, and guide you to succeed. But sometimes you just need that extra little push. Know your numbers, how important, you know, the financials, you know, you're a businessman, businesswoman, as I mentioned, understand your P&Ls, your profit and loss, what comes in and what goes out, what are your expenses, because at the end of the year, you got to do and file your taxes, right? And ultimately, are you going to be writing a big check, or have you categorized your expenses and you can gauge your expenses on a monthly basis? Are you spending too much money? Do you need to, you know, take back a little bit and not spend so much money? And that's where the P&Ls come into place. Now, for me, you know, I run a large real estate office, but also, you know, I have my business as well in real estate, and I utilize a platform that allows me to know what comes in and comes out. And I have the right people that help me. You know, I don't do it myself. I have an accountant and a bookkeeper that do all this for me. I just go out there and make connections, put people into escrow, and let, you know, everyone else do all my my responsibility and leverage it myself. Use time effectively and efficiently, you know, absolutely. You know, utilizing your position is, you know, how does your day look like? You know, are you starting up early in the morning and doing your lead gen, your follow-ups, and then your appointments? You know, that should be something on a consistent basis. Every day you should be lead generating. Every day you should be following up, and every day you should be trying to hit some appointments. Okay. Question, Mona. Did you have a question? Leverage technology, absolutely. You know, the importance of a,
On mute.
I'm sorry.
Sorry,
Go ahead.
I was asking a question, but I was on mute.
Okay, what's up?
If you are starting as a brand new agent, today was your first day. Knowing what you know now, how would you schedule your day from the moment you wake up to the moment that your head hits the pillow at night? Like detail, like workout, exercise, like social, like just the whole shebang. Like how is your time blocking going?
I'm not in production anymore because I'm part of the leadership. So my day is totally different. But if I was to go back into sales, you know, and my life dependent on it, because again, every day that I'm not making connection is a day that I'm not making any money. So having, again, that right mindset starts with the mindset. As soon as you wake up, you know, when I was at the top of my game, the first thing, you know, I would say a little prayer and say, you know, thank you, you know, for giving me the opportunity to wake up, and it's going to be a phenomenal day. I would get a glass of warm water and pour some lemon. And the reason I would do that is to build that metabolism. I would get up anywhere from 4:30 to 5 o'clock in the morning, and then I would hit the trails. At the time when I was in sales, I lived in the hill areas of Chino Hills, so I had the back canyons that I would go out and do my daily jog and run. So I would start up, get the dogs ready, and then hit the trails, and then I would do a 3-mile hike. I would start off by stretching, obviously going and walking, building up and stretching out and walk. And then eventually I would jog and do my 3 miles. Once I would come back, I was drenched in sweat, but my metabolism and my energy was high. Shower, get ready, head to the office. I would be in the office anywhere from 8 o'clock to 8:30 in the morning. So as soon as I would get into the office, then it was game on. I would start lead generating. I already knew that I needed to hit expire listing, so I would check the MLS, and then I would hit with my title company and provide me with a list of expired listings. I had a niche when it came to expired listings. If I didn't have any listings in that week or in that month, then my ultimate goal would also be is to, find opportunities with the open houses. Those were my biggest opportunities, was expire and open houses. So I would spend 2 hours lead generating and just picking up the phone. I would get a lot of no's, 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 no's before I actually get a yes for an appointment. What I was trying to accomplish was, and why it's important to hit expired, is because the seller at one point was motivated enough that they were in the market to sell their home. Something triggered that ultimately led them to the listing expire. What our job is to find out what that reason is. Was it the reason overpriced, the condition, the location, maybe just a bad experience with the listing agent, and they could not compromise and they just let it ride into it expire? There's many reasons why a property goes into expiration. The goal is to really set the appointment and to engage in that conversation and ask the why question. Well, why did that happen? Why do you think your home did not sell? While you're saying all this, you're also, writing notations. I'm old school, I still write things in a journal, okay? I write everything in a journal, appointments and everything. I utilize the computer, but I still do my journal writing here and my scheduling here as well, because I can always reference it faster than I would jumping on a computer. So I would listen and get information. If it was a solid warm lead, and I would categorize on my journal hot, warm, and cold. And the reason I would do that is, if this was a motivated seller opportunity, I would exit as a hot, and I would do my follow-up, either if I can get the appointment, or I would need a follow-up in the next couple of days or maybe in a couple of weeks. I would say this is a hot lead. If it was a cold lead, either someone would hang up, then I would go on to the next one. There was no point in me to really follow up. If it was a warm lead, I would say a warm lead is, not at the moment, but check in with me in a couple months. Then I would put that one in my database, so that way I knew I would have to follow up with them. The reason I would do this, and this is where a lot of agents fall short, is that the lead follow-up. That's where all of us fall short. If you can create a system around your lead follow-up, guess what? You would probably get more business from it, okay? So once I had my lead gen, I would go out to lunch, either by myself or with a group of agents there to mastermind. Most of the time, it was, really in collaboration of ideas, especially as a new agent. I wanted to hang around the best of the best in my office. I wanted to pick their brains. If that meant that I had to pay for lunch, by all means. If I can pick up a nugget, a rock from that conversation that I can utilize in my business, it's well worth it, because one, I'm going to close deals. Then after lunch, I would come back, and now I would do my follow-ups. I would follow up where I needed to follow up, any text messages, any phone messages, and start doing my follow-ups. The goal was obviously to find opportunities to do open house. If at that one moment in the morning of my lead gen, I have an opportunity to do an appointment not that day, then I would schedule them that afternoon, because most of your clients, buyers and sellers, go to work. So they're not available during the mornings and early afternoons. They're usually available after 5 o'clock. So I would try to set appointments, if not that day, the following day, to set an appointment. If it's a buyer consultation appointment, or if it's a seller listing appointment, then I would try to set those time. I would ask the buyer, or the seller, what time works. I would give them a flexibility, either 5 o'clock or 6 o'clock work. While I need a little bit more time, I commute, so it takes me a little longer, then I would say, no problem. I would work with my client's time. If it's not 6, then maybe 7 or 8 o'clock. I worked for my clients, and that's where I would, set the times. I'll answer your question right now. So let me just kind of go through the motions and how my schedule would be. Then once that was done, then I would go home and start again over again. If I didn't have any listings, then the weekends would be either to do open houses or go out and show properties. Again, most of your buyers do work during the week. You can set appointments, late in the afternoon, or most of my showings will be on the weekends. So that was my goal. If I didn't have anything going on that weekend, I would make sure to either be showing homes or conducting and hosting an open house. If it wasn't my listing itself, then I would be hosting someone else's. So I would, during my lead gen, I would also be asking for open house, one day for showing, one day for open house. And I would stick to that game plan religiously every weekend. I worked a lot, but ultimately I got a lot done and got business from it as well. Okay. And it was just a cycle effect every day. Remember, one of the other elements that you need to know is your calendar. Your calendar is your boss. And I mean that sincerely. Your calendar is your boss. If it's not on your calendar, it does not exist. So put it in your calendar. And that goes for your business and also your personal. If it's play dates with your children, put it on the calendar. If it's a date night with your significant other, put it on the calendar. If it's vacation, then I would put it on the calendar. These are variables and opportunities to be more efficient, but more scheduled in your daily activities. Because if you don't have a calendar, you don't know what your day looks like, believe me, you're going to be all over the place. So why not have a very systematic conveyor belt approach to your business and your personal? Because you know that if it's a personal date night, play date with the children's, birthday parties, weddings, whatever the case may be, you know that you have to work around that. You'll have a more peaceful life than trying to struggle and put things together as a puzzle. You should already by Sunday kind of have a trajectory of how your whole entire week looks from Sunday to Sunday. Okay. And that includes, as I mentioned, business and also personal. Commingle those together, because then you can kind of see a trend of what your weekly activities are. Okay. Question.
Yes, Simon, and this goes back to the thing about expired listings, and I don't want to, derail your train of thought here. The MLS, when you are looking at those expired listings, are you contacting them from that? And then the title company, I have a title company I'm working with, so I can get that bit of information from them. But I just want to know, I know you can filter expired listings, open, pending, closed in an MLS. So I was just kind of curious your process there.
Yeah. That's a valid point. Let me do this. Let me stop sharing my computer real quick. I'm going to jump on my MLS. I'm going to show you what I do. Is that cool if I do that?
Yeah, I'd love to see that. Yeah.
Okay. So 1 second while I jump on my MLS, and then I'll share my computer. I just want to show you what I used to do. Okay.
Is it okay to contact the owner of the home through, if their information is there, is that open game right there?
I'm going to show you a little trick that I used to.
Okay, great.
Okay. So
While
let
you're
me.
loading it, can I share what I do?
Absolutely, please.
So I'm going to be honest with you. If you want to get phone numbers and emails, a lot of the time you do have to pay for it some way. There may be a way to get it for free, but if you're really, really going to tackle the expires, the best way is to go on some online data provider. There's a few. You want to kind of ask different agents what they like there's Mojo, there's
Right.
Vulcan 7. Vulcan 7 is the best, but it's very expensive. So it may not be the best for you starting off if you have a budget. But you want to get their address. You want to get when the home expired, the information, and you want to see if they're on the do not call list.
Right.
If they're on the do not call list and you call them, then they can complain against you. They may be able to fine you. So it depends on you if you care about that or not. But if you're because for me, when I pulled it on the MLS, I had to ask my title individually. And sometimes they weren't even able to find all of them.
Okay.
But maybe Simon's going to say something different. I don't know.
That's
Much.
awesome. Thank you, Mona, for sharing. Absolutely. You know, if your budget allows it, by all means, you know, get these, you know, third-party apps that can help you generate expireds. You know, there's RedX, there's Mojo, there's Land Voice, there is Vocum 7, and Vocum 7 is probably one of the best, but it is, like Mona said, is literally a little pricey. So if you can partner up with someone and split the difference, then it may make sense, because I believe you can have 2 people per account. And you can split the difference. I don't know, it's like $300, $400 per month.
Mhm.
But if your budget allows it, by all means, and if you're going to stay, again, it defeats the purpose if you're not going to utilize it. You know, I don't want you to waste money, because some of these want you to have a commitment, either a 90-day commitment, a 6-month commitment, or even a year commitment. So if you're not going to take it serious and you're just going to put it aside and not utilize it to the full potential, then I encourage you from not doing it. But if you're going to dedicate the time for lead gen, and here's how I would do it as an example, you know, let me see if I can show you just a quick example, like a calendar. You know, a calendar can definitely provide you with, you know, a lot of, you know, how my schedule is. So let me go back to April. It's just taking a little longer to load, so I apologize. Let's go to month of June. So here's just an example of some of the stuff that I do. You know, I have multiple calendars, and that's how I just switch from one to the other. It just works for me. You know, I use my business, I use my team lead role, and then I have my personal. But putting everything on your schedule will definitely help. Now, here's another thing that I definitely recommend as well, and that recommendation is anything that's money making. Okay, put it in green. You can color coordinate your calendar. That's the beauty that allows us an avenue to kind of see. You don't have to know exactly, but if it's on green, it's some income producing activity. What's green? Well, if it's a listing appointment, I would put it, you know, in green, because that's money making business. If it's a buyer consultation, I'm going to put it on green. That's an income producing activity. If it's an escrow that you have inspections that day, it's a green, that's an income producing activity, I should say. Lead generating, okay? That ultimately leads to opportunities, right? So I would use green as my lead gen. If it's from 8 o'clock to 10 o'clock, I would use green as my lead gen time, because that's a real estate income producing activity. Anything like vacation, maybe you can pick a color that you like, it's pleasant, that means fuzzy and a good feeling, then put vacation. If you're taking 7 days, 5 days, 3 days, whatever the case may be, put that color that you desire to be part of your vacation. If it's personal stuff, pick a color. If it's you know, doctor's appointment, put a color. So that way you don't necessarily have to know, but you'll know the color coordinations, what that represents. And you can identify immediately, oh shoot, this is my lead gen. Now, the other thing that I truly believe is alarms. I don't know if anyone has, you know, iPhone or what's the other ones?
Android.
Android, thank you, thank
Yeah.
you. I have an iPhone, and you know, my schedule, what I call alarms. I have alarms for everything, because I might be going 100 miles and I might forget, even though it's on my schedule, but I have an alarm that tells me, okay, you got the next one. Just like an alarm to wake you up, you know, I would put an alarm for lead gen. So immediately at 7:59 in the morning, my alarm rings. Okay, it's lead gen time. And then, you know, my two o'clock listing appointment At 1:30, 1:15, my alarm goes on telling me, hey, don't forget you have a listing appointment, buyer consultation. Utilize the platform. This is what we call leverage, right? The information that's on your smartphones. I would have alarms for everything, so that way I know I'm not going to miss the beat on something. Make a habit, going on a jog, working out, all those should be on alarm. And the more you do it, the better and more efficient. And people are going to be impressed. It's like, gosh, how can you remember even little things like remembering to spend time with your children if you have any, or do homework assignment, or spend time with a significant other. Put it all on the schedule. Believe me, it'll help you to be more focused, but more so the ability to be on track and on schedule. Okay, so real quick, here's the MLS, right? So if you look at the market watch right now, can you see the my screen? Is that a yes?
I can see it,
Yes,
yes.
yes, we can see it.
Okay, so this is what I would use, and this is an inside little trick I used to do. Okay, so you see right here expires, right? If I click on that, it's going to provide me with all the expiration listings for today, just today. All right, I'm going to go back. I just want to show you. This is not yesterday. This is stuff that expire today. 39 expiration. There's 39 opportunities. Now, I know they're all over the place. We have condos, we have single family residents, we have townhomes, but they're all over. We have some in Marietta. I don't know if this is San Diego. We have in Los Angeles, Azusa, Temple City, so we have different areas. So what I would do is I would go to phone and I would look at, where this area, I don't know where this area is in Gustin. It's probably somewhere up north or somewhere south of LA. But I would just kind of narrow it down. Is this something that I'm willing to even put time and effort? Obviously, it looks like it's up north somewhere. Okay, no way am I gonna service this area, because again, for the price point, it just doesn't make sense for me to do so. So I would go on to the next one and see where the next one is. This was in Lancaster. I mean, Lancaster is probably a 2-hour drive. If that, I don't know if I'm willing to go to Lancaster. Maybe I'll skip it. Johnson Valley, I don't know. Marietta, that's too far. San Diego is just too far. Burbank, here's one. All right, so this one in Burbank may be ideal. Interesting enough, it's the DOM stands for days on market. And then the CDOM stands for accumulative days on market, which means that 33 days it's been on the market and eventually it expired, right? It's a beautiful new construction. It looks like it's listed, or it was listed for 1.79, and it's on Lincoln Street in Burbank. I would look at the characteristics and find out why this property did not sell. Here's what I would do, because you can go to the parcel number, right? And on the parcel, you can probably find out if it's a corporation, if it's a husband and wife, if it's in a trust. It's not going to give me a lot of information. Now, what it also does is it provides you with this trust or a corporation. If it's a corporation, you can go to the state website and plug in that corporation, and then it'll tell you who is the officer, the CEO, or who's ever in charge of that corporation. And then you can do a little bit of gathering of information. That's one way. The other way that I used to do is I would go right to the source. I would literally go to the agent right here, Desi, and call Desi if I could. If there's no number, I would call their office number and ask to speak. Now, I would look at all the information, and it looks like I can call this 800 number, or excuse me, that 818 number, and that's probably someone's sales number. I'm going to assume that this 818-571-9059 is Desi's contact information. So this is what I used to do, okay? And it usually would work. I would call Desi and introduce myself. Hi, Desi. This is Simon over at KW. I noticed the property that you listed at 946 North Lincoln Street in the city of Burbank became an expired listing. Out of curiosity, what happened? And I would let the listing agent know, oh, you know, this, and that. We had a fallout with the investor and has not provided me with the opportunity to extend the listing. So right there and then I would know that, okay, I know that this property is in a trust. And if I try to go in any other angle to get the contact information, I would be probably spinning my wheels. So what I would do next is, well, I'm really sorry to hear that. You know, I specialize in expired listings, and I would love the opportunity to maybe see if I can give another layer of a different approach and see if I can help. This is what I'm willing to do, Desi. If you provide me with the seller's contact information and the owner of this beautiful property gives me the opportunity to list a home, I will pay you a referral just by giving me the contact information. Under obviously the condition that if I do get the listing executed, signed, and we close the transaction, meaning once I sell the property and it records, I will give you a referral of 25%. Now, they already lost the opportunity to sell the property, right? And because they lost the opportunity to sell the property, there's no guarantee anymore that they're going to get a commission. So why not at least get something, right? Something better than nothing.
Right.
So I would say, yeah, heck yeah, I don't have an opportunity. I lost this opportunity already. Why not, you know, give it a shot? And he can be discreet, he or she can be discreet and say, look, I'm not going to divulge that information. I'm just going to say, you know, I have my resources and, people that help me get information. I'm not going to throw the listing agent, because as soon as I say, well, Desi gave me your number, they're going to be taken back. Well, you know, if they had a bad taste in their mouth with Desi, they're going to be hesitant to give or even give me the opportunity to help list their home. So I would never throw the listing agent under the bus, but I would use that as an avenue to get more expired seller contact information. I would mind giving a 20-25% on a 1.7. And again, this may be overpriced because originally it was listed for 1.899. But it's your job now to have that conversation with the seller. And ultimately, maybe your approach may be a little different, where now they say, well, you know what, maybe you're right, Simon. Maybe I need to list the property for 14999 to really get the excitement going. And by the listing agent providing you with the phone number, you're one step ahead of the game. One, you already have the data information. Two, you're not scrambling to get that information. You got the source from the listing agent. And I've done that numerous times. Sometimes they'll say no, but the majority of the time they say, why not? Put yourself in that position as a listing agent that you just lost a commission because it expired or it got canceled. But I come in and say, let me at least make an effort to see if I can get this listing and lock it, close the deal. I'll pay you a commission. It's a win-win. Why wouldn't I give you that information if I'm going to make some money?
Right.
If this property expires, that's it. Your hands is clean. The seller is no obligation and doesn't have to pay you a commission. So that was one of the techniques that I used to use to pick up listings. I would use and leverage agents.
That's genius, Simon. I just want to let you know it's
Yeah.
pretty genius. And
Don't share that with anyone else.
I'm not saying anything if nobody else is saying anything. I'd keep that to.
I'm
Hey,
just
Simon, one more thing about that. How expired should this listing be? And then second part of this question, if you don't say the agent gave you this number, how do you say I got your contact? What?
I wouldn't. I would just
Just say public record.
I wouldn't even say that. I would just go with emotions like I'm playing dumb.
Right.
So
Okay.
this is how I would approach it. I would say, ring, ring. Hi, is this the owner of 946 North Lincoln Street in Burbank? Yes, it is. How can I help you? Oh, yeah, wonderful. My name is Simon. I'm a local professional realtor, and I noticed that your property became an expired listing. I service, and I'm really good when it comes to expired listings. I was out of curiosity, wanted to find out what happened, and I would let the seller give me some intel. I already know why, but the seller doesn't know why this property it got expired with the previous agent. But I would let the seller know. Look, I'm just curious to find out. I work with a lot of buyers, and I have buyers that are looking in this area. I was wondering, are you in the position to interview agents? And go with that motion. The goal is obviously to lock in the listing.
Mm-hmm.
And most of the time, the sellers would probably pour everything at you. Well, I had a bad experience with the previous agent, Desi. Oh, Desi, I see that. I'm so sorry to hear it. What would you want this agent to do differently? Why do you think that your home did not sell? It's a beautiful house. It's a new construction. I'm looking at the photos. Oh my God. Are you the contractor as well? Yeah, I'm a general contractor. Oh, wonderful. This is amazing. The home is phenomenal. And I would go with that motion, and they would ultimately open up and pour everything. And I'm, again, with my journal, guys, writing everything down, because what am I doing? I'm studying everything. I'm getting intel from the seller. Well, I'm really sorry to hear that, Mr. Smith. All I need is about 20 minutes of your time to explain how I sell more homes and give my clients top dollars with the least amount of headaches to net them the most possible. When is a good time to meet with you, look at the home, and ultimately tell you what my marketing strategies to help you sell your home?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. If they've had a bad experience, they're going to let you know. Well, I'm not in no hurry. I'm not ready to list the home. Whatever avenue it is, at least you have 1 foot in. If they're not ready to list the property right now, then that's by all means perfectly fine. Well, how did you get my contact information?
Mm-hmm.
This is the reason I'm a professional. I have sources. Okay. You may get a lot of mailers, you may get a call, but I can tell you I am the local expert, and my goal is to get you top dollars with the least amount of headaches to give you the most net possible. All I need is 20 minutes of your time. Now, 20 minutes is just a front. You're going to probably spend about a good hour with the seller and show your value proposition. Because what are you ultimately trying to do? You want to listen to your clients. You want to get the most intel from your clients, the frustration, and let them vent. Because once they are vulnerable, that's when you attack. That's when you showcase your ability. And it doesn't matter if you are a newer agent or a seasoned agent, it's just the ability to connect with someone.
Mm-hmm.
When you connect at a high level, guess what? People will be comfortable to do business with you. Okay. Again, that's just one of many avenues in how we can approach it. Chula Vista, out of the area, San Diego. Here's one in Los Angeles, a little cute little house. It's for $599. Again, 3-2. Let me see who the agent is. Judy, from First Team. I have a cell number, okay, which I'm assuming that she knows the seller, right? I already have one layer above a lot of agents because I'm not paying anyone more money. I'm already paying for the MLS. Utilize, leverage yourself, and spread the wealth. You're still going to make a pretty decent commission out of this, but here's the bigger picture. You get the listing, you put your sign, you are generating more opportunities. Meaning maybe there's another seller that is curious, sees you, sees your for sale sign, and now they want to list their home. Now you just pick another listing from it. Yeah.
I'm sorry. So did you go into the time of how long that is? It better to wait like a 30-day expired, or let's say expired last week? And how much time do you let that thing cool off before you?
That's a very good question. For me, it doesn't really matter because the motivation can be next day, same day, or 6 months from now. If the property wasn't expired 6 months ago, and now you're calling, they didn't put the property back on the market. One of the avenues that I would say, do you know that your property is probably worth more money than 6 months ago? Let me show you what I do to sell homes faster, top dollars, with the least amount of headaches to net you the most. And maybe that's a conversational. If it's something that just came out on the market today, that just expired today, I would utilize that as like, tell me more. What happened? Why did it expire? If it's a week ago, okay, gosh, you probably got tons of agents calling you, sending you letters asking for the opportunity to list your home. You probably got text messages as well, and I'm probably like the 500 call. But this is who I am, and this is my approach is I'm a very proactive agent, and my goal is to help you sell your home for top dollars. To talk. So there's no real time frame, I guess is the word. If it's fairly new, I would check every single day on every expired listing that's available, because there may be an opportunity. You just got to be there at the right time. If they're not ready, they're in no hurry, then by all means, at least you got someone to follow up with. Maybe at the moment now, but maybe in the future, they're going to pick an agent. Why not be you?
That's smart.
Okay, why not be you? That's again one layer. You still want to do your lead gen. If you use third-party platforms such as Mojo, RedX, Land Voice, or Volcom, by all means, that's perfectly fine. A lot of the information is picked up from the MLS. Okay. So, any more questions regarding that?
No, that was a good tip, Simon.
That was
great.
excellent.
That was great.
Yeah,
Thank
that was a
you.
good one.
So much
Thanks.
time for everything.
Yeah.
Great information as always.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I have my next appointment here already. So again,
No, Simon, don't leave us.
That was a great backdoor way to get a lead without paying for it. Connecting with the agent that dropped it, that had it fall out of his hands or her hands. It's just
put yourself in that position. You lost the listing, right? It expired, it got canceled. That means you're not getting any more commission, no more. So if someone comes in and says, look, I'm willing to split some of the commission, I'm willing to give you, just by giving me their contact information, why wouldn't you?
Yeah.
Why wouldn't you? Look at the big picture. You get a listing, you got production, you're getting paid, you may get buyers from it, you may get listings from it. So giving a 20-25% as a referral, and remember, this is the approach that you'll say to the listing agent. If I get the listing and I sell the property, I will give you a referral. I will even sign the referral and send it over to you or your broker. So that way we have it in writing. And then you can see, because the agent is going to see that the property got listed by me, they're going to see when it closed, and then he or she is going to have proof I have the referral agreement signed saying that you will pay me a referral fee for something that they probably wouldn't have never got a commission out of. Here's the number to the seller. Best of luck to you.
Right.
And the courtesy thing that I would do is I would say, look, if I do get the appointment, I'm going to follow up with you and say, hey, I got the listing appointment. I will keep you abreast if I get the executed listing. Why not? I'm building a relationship, first and foremost, with the listing agent or the previous listing agent as an avenue, because I don't know if he has more listings that expire. I want to be that one person that picks up and cherry picks that agent's expired listings. Maybe he has, 5 or 10, maybe he has 20, and maybe he had a bad experience, but now that you were able to get that listing and sees that there may be some guarantee of money, here's another one, and here's another one. Here's the seller's contact information. And your job is just to pick and make those calls.
Yeah.
Again, just another avenue in how you can approach your business on top of doing what you need to do, right? Lead gen, sphere of influence, past clients, for sale by owners, and expires as well. Good deal?
Yeah, that was excellent.
Awesome, guys. Well, I appreciate it. Have a phenomenal holiday weekend. Stay safe and healthy. Definitely appreciate you on it. More to come, guys. So love to see you on more of the trainings, and I'll give you some more tidbit ideas and strategies that you can use for your business. Okay. Appreciate you all. Take care, and I'll see you on the next call. Thanks, guys. That's recorded, right?